Ethan Ward had everything the world said a man could ever want. A global tech empire, a net worth large enough to buy small countries, private jets, mansions, and influence that could bend governments. But none of it mattered anymore. Not since the death of his only daughter, Lily Ward, age 6. Her passing had ripped a hole through his soul so deep that money could not fill it. Every November 4th, her birthday, Ethan visited the quiet cemetery outside the city, a place where paparazzi never came and where even his personal guards knew to give him space. Today was one of those days. Clouds hung low like heavy curtains as Ethan walked down the narrow path, clutching a single white lily, the same flower she was named after. His steps were slow, heavy, and silent. The air felt colder than usual. But as he approached the familiar marble headstone with Lily Amelia Ward, gone too soon, something made him stop. Someone was already there, a man in a worn-out janitor uniform. His back was turned, but Ethan could clearly see the tremor in his shoulders as he cried. Beside him, a little boy, barely 5, clutched the man's sleeve with one hand and held a small pink teddy bear in the other. Ethan's heart pounded. This was his daughter's grave. Who was this man? And why was a janitor crying there? He stepped closer. "Excuse me," Ethan said, trying to keep his voice calm, despite the anger rising inside him. "Why are you at my daughter's grave?" The janitor froze. Slowly he turned around. His eyes were red, swollen, and full of grief. His uniform bore the name Harold. I'm sorry, sir," the janitor stammered. "I didn't think anyone would be here this early." "You didn't answer my question," Ethan said, jaw tightening. "Why are you crying at my child's grave?" The little boy stepped forward timidly. "Grandpa, don't cry," he whispered, hugging the teddy bear to his chest. Ethan's confusion deepened. "Grandpa," the janitor swallowed hard, "I owe your daughter more than I can ever repay." Ethan blinked. "My daughter was only 6. She barely met people outside family and school." "I know," Harold whispered. "But she saved us?" Ethan's breath caught. "What do you mean, saved you?" Harold looked at his grandson, then back at Ethan. "Do you mind if I sit and explain?" Ethan hesitated, then nodded. They sat on the small marble bench beside the grave, the little boy climbing into his grandfather's lap. Harold began. 2 years earlier, I was a janitor at Lily's school," Harold said. "My daughter, Emily, was a single mother and worked 2 jobs to take care of this little boy. Life was hard, but we managed." Ethan listened, arms crossed, but his anger had begun to soften. "One day," Harold continued, "my daughter collapsed while cleaning houses. She had an undiagnosed heart condition. She was rushed to the hospital, but the doctors said the medication she needed cost more than we could ever afford." His voice cracked. "I didn't know what to do. I was losing my daughter. This little boy was about to become an orphan." The boy hugged the teddy bear tightly, as if he remembered the fear. Harold wiped his eyes. "That day, Lily saw me crying behind the school cafeteria. She asked me why I was sad. I didn't want to burden a child, so I told her I lost something important." Ethan felt a sting in his chest. Lily had always been warm, always reaching out to people others ignored. "But she insisted on helping," Harold said. "She gave me this." He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small folded paper, a drawing. A childish drawing of a stick figure family holding hands under a rainbow. At the bottom were the words, "For your family. I hope everything gets better, Lily." Ethan pressed a hand over his mouth. He remembered that drawing. Lily used to make them for anyone who looked lonely. "But that isn't all," Harold continued, his voice trembling. "Lily told her teacher what happened. The teacher told the principal, and the school started a small fundraiser. The story spread, and people donated." Ethan's eyes widened. "I remember," he whispered. "The school board requested additional funds for a sick employee's family. I approved it. I didn't know it was you." "It was," Harold said. "You paid the remaining balance. Because of that, my daughter survived long enough to see her son start kindergarten." Tears slipped down Harold's face. "She died peacefully 8 months later. But those months meant everything to us." The little boy leaned his head on Harold's chest. "And Lily, she used to visit me when I cleaned the playground. She always said, I hope your daughter gets better. She had the purest heart. Ethan closed his eyes, overwhelmed. She came home once talking about a janitor she helped, he whispered. But she never said your name. Harold looked at the gravestone and broke down again. When I heard she passed, I didn't sleep for days. This little girl saved my family, and I never had the chance to thank her properly. Silence fell. Even the wind seemed to hold its breath. I come here, Harold whispered, because she was a blessing we didn't deserve. And my grandson, he comes to thank the angel who saved his mother for a while. The little boy stepped off Harold's lap and placed the teddy bear on Lily's grave. Thank you, Lily, he said softly. Mommy loved me because you helped her. Ethan's vision blurred. He hadn't cried in 2 years, not since the day he buried his little girl. But now the tears came, hot, silent, unstoppable. He knelt beside the teddy bear. My daughter loved helping people, he whispered. She was sunshine, pure sunshine. Harold placed a trembling hand on Ethan's shoulder. I know, sir. She changed our lives, and she didn't even know it. For a moment, the billionaire and the janitor sat together in their shared grief, 2 different worlds connected by the pure heart of a little girl. Then Ethan looked at the boy. What's your name? Oliver, he whispered shyly. Ethan smiled weakly. You know, Lily loved stories. She always wanted a little brother to share them with. Oliver's eyes lit up. Really? Yes, Ethan said. She would have liked you. Harold stood stiffly, unsure of what was happening. Sir, thank you for letting us be here. We'll leave. No, Ethan said firmly. Stay. Harold froze. Sir? Ethan stood and dusted off his knees. Your daughter meant something to mine, and Lily meant something to you. That makes us family. In a way. Harold's lips trembled. Sir, I don't know what to say. You don't need to say anything, Ethan replied. But from today onward, your grandson will never lack anything. Harold gasped. Sir. It's what Lily would have wanted. He knelt to Oliver. How would you like to go to the same private school Lily went to? Oliver's eyes widened. Really? Yes, Ethan smiled. Really? Harold covered his face, overwhelmed. But, sir, I can't accept this. You're not accepting it from me, Ethan said. You're accepting it from Lily. Harold broke down again, and Ethan turned to the gravestone. My darling girl, he whispered, placing the white lily beside the teddy bear. You're still changing lives. The wind blew softly, rustling the trees, and for the first time in 2 years, Ethan felt a little less alone, a little less broken, because his daughter's kindness had lived on, in a janitor's gratitude, in a little boy's smile, and now in his own healing.